Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Guns and Guitars. It's so good to see you again, and today is the thrilling conclusion to our Telecaster kit shootout video. This is going to be a back-to-back sound demo of the 3 Telecaster kits that I built for you last week, as well as my opinion as to which one I feel like plays the best and sounds the best. And I think you might find my opinion a little bit shocking, so stay tuned. I'm Dan, this is Guns and Guitars, let's get started. Before we get started, if you didn't catch last week's video where I unboxed and built these things, it's definitely worth watching, so click the iCard or the end screen at the end of this video to go back and watch that. But for now, let's just summarize what we learned last week. This kit here from Guitar Fetish came extremely well packaged. The body is a really cool wood with awesome wood grain, and it feels really light in the hands, and the overall build was very fast and very easy. However, the components don't line up exactly where they were supposed to. It was missing a tuner washer, and the frets are going to need some serious work as well. This kit here from TomTop was packaged like death. I'm honestly shocked that it made it here from China wrapped in saran wrap. The burl veneer was missing some chunks, and it has an odd-shaped body, which you guys actually corrected me in the comments and let me know that some vintage Telecasters and the older broadcasters actually had this piece carved out so that the output jack would sit flush. Well, the problem then is this kit actually comes with a curved oval jack, which I then had to try to hammer out flat to make it work. And as you can see, it still doesn't quite work. However, the frets are actually in really good shape. The nut piece is cut to the proper height, so it does make for a good playable action out of the box. Everything lines up properly as it should, and the gold-plated hardware and burl veneer do give a really cool, unique look to this guitar. This kit here from the Fretwire is the most expensive kit, but it does come well packaged, and it's got that classic thin line styling with the semi-hollow body, perloid pickguard, chrome humbuckers. Everything is pre-drilled and lines up perfectly from the factory. The neck pocket is routed nice and snug for a perfect fit. These frets are absolutely beautiful, polished to a mirror shine, probably very little to no work needed on those at all. The only issues are the extra tall nut piece and the stubborn 3-way selector switch. Okay, now that you guys are all caught up, let's go ahead and hear how these guitars sound. For this sound demo, I'm going to be recording directly into Logic Pro, as always, using my Focusrite Scarlett USB interface and Logic's built-in Boutique Tweed amp simulation. Noticed based on how much I was into playing it, which guitar I liked better than the other ones. But in case you weren't paying that close attention, or in case you didn't notice, the one that I feel like plays the best and sounds the best is, drumroll, this one. Oh, there's two. Yes, I actually think that it is a tie. Well, that's a good thing to do, just bash them together while they're on camera. As I was playing those two guitars back to back over and over again this week, I just couldn't make up my mind as to which one I liked better. Which I do realize comparing these two back to back is kind of like comparing apples to oranges, which is probably why I can't make up my mind, because I like both apples and oranges. They're just different, okay? This one has single coils and a solid body. This one is a hollow body with humbuckers, okay? They're just two completely different guitars. They both sound awesome, and what really shocked me is they both play really awesome, especially once I took care of the extra tall nut piece on the Fretwire kit. And speaking of nut piece, I've seen your guys' comments asking me why I call this a nut piece and not just a nut. Well, the answer is simple, because I got a nut for you right here. See? This is the nut. And when I think of the word nut, this is what I think of. Whenever I'm referencing this, I say nut and the word piece just comes out of my mouth. I have no control of it. I don't know why. Probably because I'm very careful with how I handle my nuts. And when I think of the word nut, I think of this right here. So quit being such a dumb piece about it. But anyway, back to these two kits. They really both play and sound really awesome. This one, I admit, sounds more like a Telecaster, which I'm not super into the Telecaster sound. It's a little bit too bright and twangy for my own personal preference of music, but nonetheless, I do enjoy the way this one sounds, and I do think that it is good to go as is. Well, assuming that you redo the wiring so that it actually works the way it's supposed to. And this guitar just has that bigger, warmer sound that you would expect from a hollow body with humbuckers. And they are really good sounding humbuckers. They actually remind me an awful lot of that Les Paul kit. Kind of barely see it right there. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that these are the exact same pickups that came in that Les Paul. But if you recall from that kit review, if you haven't watched it, go ahead and click the iCard. You can watch that next. But in my kit review, I actually mentioned that I really liked the tone of those pickups, and these are no exception. I really like the tone of these pickups. The neck pickup is nice and bright, so it still kind of has a little bit of that Tele or Tele Deluxe kind of tone to it, but the bridge pickup is quite a bit hotter, and so it really breaks up a little bit better, and it takes the edge off of those shrilly highs that Telecasters are known for. So for my own personal preference and the style of music that I play, I would probably reach for this more often. Now that being said, there were things that I had to fix on both of them. Like I said, I did need to cut down the nut piece a little bit, so that I could get a good low playable action. And this one, I didn't have to do that, but I did have to rewire the electronics. Now, on the other hand, this one comes from China, and it was missing a chunk of its veneer. This one ships from the US and has excellent customer service that comes from the Fretwire. All the holes were pre-drilled correctly, and it sounds and it plays awesome. And if you use my coupon code Guns and Guitars at the Fretwire to save $10, that puts this thing at only $13 more than the TomTop kit. So, is that worth it to have US shipping and US customer service that is outstanding? I would say so. But if you want a guitar that sounds more like a Telecaster and has its own cool, funky vibe to it with the gold hardware and the burl veneer, which I'm pretty sure I can repair this chunk. I'm just gonna cut out a piece of wood and just glue it in there, and maybe I'll tint it with some stain or something so it kind of matches a little bit. And then when I stain and dye the whole thing, I'm guessing it will probably disappear. But as I was saying, if you're looking for a guitar that sounds like a Telecaster, this one's good to go. I think those pickups are fine. So to summarize, basically the one thing I learned is go home, Guitar Fetish, nobody likes you. Okay, just kidding. The one thing that I liked about this kit was the body and the cool wood that it's made out of, okay? But everything else needs a lot of work, and the pickups need to be replaced, and I'm gonna keep that selector switch because I like it. But pretty much this kit was only good for the body, unfortunately. If you want to see me build up all three of these kits into high-end tone monsters, you definitely want to subscribe to my channel, click the bell notification so that you can see when those videos are posted. I'm going to be starting with that Guitar Fetish kit because it's the worst one and needs the most work. So definitely subscribe if you want to see that. You may also enjoy this playlist up here of what I feel like are the best value kits that I've reviewed so far. And I'm Dan, this is Guns and Guitars. I will see you next week.